Now for our story. This afternoon in her apartment above the Golden Peacock, the nightclub she owns in Chicago, Dell Shipley was thinking of Lisa Fenner, the young woman her friend Mary Lane had entrusted to her, asking Dell to give the girl a job at the club. The young girl who the evening before had finally broken down and told Dell a story which even she, with her years of experience in the complications which beset people's lives, had recognized as a very tragic one indeed.
Oh, that poor little kid. No wonder she's been in such a stew ever since she's been here. Who wouldn't be? Giving away her baby like that. Well, that Mary's hunch was sure right. She said something was eating the girl. Something really serious. Now that she's told me, I'm darned if I know what to do about it. I don't see what anyone could do. Unless this babe she gave the kid to could be made to give him up. Oh, but Lisa says she refused. She acts almost as if she's afraid of her, whoever she is. She didn't want me to know anything about her, and I couldn't very well ask. Well, the only way out, it looks like, would be for Lisa to confess the whole story to her husband, Lance. Oh, but you never could tell how a guy would react to something like that. He'd have a right to be sore. You've got to look at it from his side, too. Here his wife has a baby he doesn't even know about. Some tricky female convinces her she has to give the kid up, and she does. Poor guy's a father without ever seeing his own child. Oh, it's kind of tough to take. Well, I'm darned if I know what good her telling me did. Now that I know, there's not much I can do about it. But I had to promise her not to say anything.
Me, Dell.
Oh, hello, Lily. I don't know why you ever bother to knock. You just breeze right in anyway.
Well, it saves time.
Oh, sure. I'm just kidding.
You got a cigarette, Dell? I'm all out.
There's some in that box on the coffee table, or should be. Light me one, too, will you? I don't want to mess up this work of art I just did on the nails.
Okay. Here you are.
Thanks, Lily. Well, how's the world been treating you, hon?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't complain, but you know me, Dell, I always do.
Oh, it's a good idea to squawk about things once in a while. Takes all the meanness out of your system.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, I ought to have the disposition of an angel. Lord knows I do my share of beefing about things. And not always about myself, either. Oh, I wish I could learn to mind my own business.
You're okay, Lily. You don't butt in where you're not wanted as a rule.
Well, how about this Lisa Fenner deal? I sure put in my 2 cents worth there. And you know what? I don't seem to have learned my lesson either.
What do you mean?
Can't let it alone. I'm still thinking about that kid. Wonder. She came up to see you last night, didn't she?
Yeah, she came up.
See what I mean? I'm dying to know what she told you. Did she spill her story?
Yeah, she did.
Must have done her some good.
I don't know, Lily.
Well, she seemed to be in better spirits when she got back to our place. Like she'd gotten something off her conscience.
She did? I'm glad to hear it. I don't think I was much help, though. You know, Lily, that kid really is in a bad spot. He doesn't just think so. She is.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's too bad. I mean, I've been sort of hoping it was some little thing she'd built up in her own mind. Something we could talk her out of.
I wish that was it. No, she's got herself a real honest-to-goodness headache. I'm darned if I know what to tell her to do.
I guess Aunt Mary was on the right track then. She thought it was something awfully screwy.
Yeah. We ought to know Aunt Mary usually doesn't talk through her hat.
Well, I guess you don't want to tell me what Lisa's got in her mind.
It isn't that I don't want to, hon. Only wish I could. Maybe we could figure out what the answer is. But you see, I promised the kid I wouldn't tell a soul.
Oh.
You understand, don't you, Lily? It's nothing personal.
Oh, sure.
I know how Lisa figures. Really dynamite, this mess she's in. And you see, she's been going over and over it by herself all this time. She wouldn't have told me, I think, except that she was just in that mood. You know how you feel sometimes. Well, you've got to talk or you'll bust.
I'll say I know. I've seen her going through it for weeks now. Getting that far-away look on her face. You could tell she was fighting something out inside.
You bet she was. Still is, too. So last night she was kind of tired, feeling low. Everything just happened to click right, I guess. She started out to give me just the highlights at first. And before she knew it, well, the whole story spilled out. It made me feel sort of guilty, letting her tell me when I knew she thought it wasn't a good idea.
Well, I wouldn't feel that way, Dell. It's probably good she did.
Well, let's hope so, anyway. The worst of it is, I don't know what I'm going to tell Mary Lane when I see her this weekend.
You going down to Aunt Mary's?
Yeah. She's been wanting me to. And this weekend looked like a good time to make the trip. Oh, it'll be swell to see her.
Yeah. Do you good to get away to?
I don't know what Mary has up her sleeve, but it's something she wants me to help her do down there in Wakefield. I bet Lefty will beat it out of there when he finds out I'm coming.
Lefty. Nuts for him.
Now, don't talk like that, Lily. You know very well you like Lefty a lot.
Maybe I did at one time. And I still would if he wasn't such a dope. But if he hasn't sense enough to appreciate you, I've got no use for him. Who does he think he is, anyway? Van Johnson?
Well, if he was, he'd be a little too young for yours truly anyway.
It makes me sore every time I think of the way that guy's treated you. And I think I'll tell him so next time I see him.
Now, Lily, you'll do no such thing. I can fight my own battles.
That's just the trouble. This isn't supposed to be a battle. It's supposed to be a love affair.
Well, it's not anymore. And the way Lefty's acting, it's never going to be again, either.
Oh, forget Lefty. You go down there and have a nice time. You can get a lot of rest and fresh air. Well, I could certainly go for a nice, peaceful weekend in the country myself. Take a couple of deep breaths for me, will you, Dell?
Lily, why don't you come down there with me?
To Wakefield?
Why, sure. Aunt Mary'd love to have you, I know. And you'd be company for me on the drive down. I don't know why I didn't think of it before.
Well, Dell, it's well of you to suggest it, but remember, you've got a nightclub and a floor show, and I'm in it.
Oh, the show can get along without you for a couple of nights. I'll give you a vacation. You need one anyway.
Well, I admit the show wouldn't fall apart without me.
Well, of course not.
I'd feel kind of mean about leaving Lisa all alone in the apartment, though.
Yeah. Oh, I think she'll be all right. Might enjoy having the place all to herself. We'll only be gone a couple of nights.
Well, that's so. Would you think Aunt Mary'd have room for me? That house isn't very big.
We won't stay at the farm. Be better all around if we stayed at the hotel. I'll make arrangements tomorrow. Well, what do you say, Lily? We'll make a new woman of you.
Okay, I will. Peggy, I wonder how much she's changed.
Mary says she's grown up a lot. Oh, yes. And you know Mary's son's home, Randy. He's back from overseas.
Yeah, Lisa mentioned him. Said he's okay.
He is. I met him once before when I was down there.
Well, all I'm looking forward to is a nice, peaceful visit. Rest and quiet.
Rest and quiet. Lily Devon had no idea, and neither had Dell Shipley, that the quiet, restful weekend they were planning in Wakefield might have far-reaching, explosive results. For if Dell were to connect Kit Meade with the story Lisa Fenner had told her, the truth about Lisa's baby son might become known at last.